He's a name that a lot of people want to see pushed on WWE television. With the R-Truth situation becoming a bad one and then ultimately turning into a return for Ron Killings on WWE TV after being released, a lot of people started the We Want Truth movement. A lot of people have been on this push Karrion Kross
when we can put this together.
Well. Everybody thought that WWE was giving up on Karrion Kross. We start to see him kind of slowly make his way back to television, but still nothing major on Monday Night Raw. A lot of people tend to think that Karrion Kross may be on his way out of WWE after rumors of his contract coming due, and the fact that he may not want to be back in the WWE over lack of opportunity. What is the reason why WWE hasn't given Kross a bigger role than they have given him for the majority of this return to WWE? What if I told you there is a vicious rumor going around that the reason why they don't push him is because he won't take bumps? Yes, that is the news. That is the narrative. That is coming from Wade Keller of the PW Torch. We will talk about that today on Off the Script.
Won't take him.
Malachi Black. Or Aleister Black. I don't know why I keep calling him Malachi.
Aleister.
I wish he worked out in AEW. They're fucking clueless over there. Aleister Black. He finally may be in line for a major push on Friday Night SmackDown. And unfortunately, Chad Gable, we will be without Chad Gable on Monday night as he is required to get surgery. All this and so much more today on Off the Script. It is your Thursday, June 26th. 2025. We'll start with Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross, the rumor of him not taking bumps is ridiculous. But I want to read to you what Wade Keller of the PW Torch said on his Monday Night Raw podcast.
Yeah.
This was dated back June 16th, 10 days ago. Just to show you how relevant Wade Keller is if they're now clipping him from 10 days ago. Wade Keller claimed that wrestlers told him as much as far as Kross not wanting to bump or not taking bumps being the reason why they're not pushing him and why he may not become a big star on the main roster. Wade Keller says this, and I quote, I talked about this when he was all the rage in NXT coming out of TNA. I was like, wrestlers are telling me when he gets to the main roster, nobody's going to put up with the fact that he doesn't want to take bumps. He's scared to bump.
Yeah.
He doesn't flat back bump. I don't know if he's got an injury or a concern. He goes on to say, Kross favors one side, which is something maybe being an injury. So I don't know if he has a pre-existing condition or he's just not comfortable taking bumps. I don't know. I don't have the inside story on that. But I know wrestlers who I chat with about things, when I want wrestlers' insight, are like, oh, right, Wade, you're right when you say Karrion Kross won't be a big star on the main roster. Well, one of the reasons you are missing out on is what you watch next with this next match. He really just doesn't take bumps. Wade Keller concluded and said, it's not that he's slow or plodding, or he's not that tall compared to the rosters in TNA and NXT where his gimmick kind of needs to be taller than his opponent to make up for the fact that he's not creating movement. Lots of things are working against him. But all that said, I find this current character development quite delightful, he said about Karrion Kross. Now, Kross is 39 years old, has experienced a ton of support, especially recently, largely online, with fans wanting him to be a much more major part of the show. And a lot of this comes directly from his post-WrestleMania work-shoot promo on the lack of push, and then added that with the documentary that he put out on his YouTube channel, which kind of gave a brand new insight into who the man behind Karrion Kross is and what makes his brain work. It was a great watch for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, I could sit here and I could go over the fact that he doesn't wrestle enough to even warrant taking bumps. And I can go into the fact that WWE is dropping the ball, whatever the case may be. There are probably reasons beyond explanation, more than we are privy to, as to why he's not being pushed on television. I don't know how they work. I can only sit here and give you my point of view. I
go back to YouTube.
Twice this year on national television. Twice. He's wrestled AJ Styles. That was, I believe, April 14th, Monday Night Raw. That was a week before WrestleMania. The other match he worked was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. 2 matches. He's had several appearances on Main Event, which is a YouTube show or a Peacock show. I don't even know where it airs. I couldn't even tell you the last time I watched the Main Event show or match on Main Event. I think the last time I tuned into Main Event was coincidentally when they debuted Karrion Kross for the first time, coming up from NXT as the NXT champion, and they gave him some dominatrix outfit, and they completely butchered his entrance. It's the one time I really did tune into Main Event to see what the fuck Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard were going to do with something that Triple H had put a lot of time and effort into, and they fucked it up.
Everybody ruined it too.
If you go back and watch Karrion Kross on Main Event, he's wrestled Dragon Lee, he's wrestled Cruz del Toro, Tyler Bate. I saw clips.
Yeah, Karrion Kross wasn't able to take a bump. Karrion Kross couldn't take a bump though.
Taking flat back bumps.
That's how retired wrestlers.
Tyler Bate delivered a Michinoku driver on Karrion Kross.
I mean, like Ric Flair and Luna, for example.
Cruz del Toro delivered a single leg dropkick. Karrion Kross took a flat back bump.
He took it.
All you need to do is go watch the fucking footage. This is why the internet exists. Go watch. Go research.
Yeah.
This is automatically deemed false.
Ain't
just
true.
like the clips that I've seen online. Now then, you're going to get some people also saying, oh, well, if you go back and watch the tape, JD Flair like Hello Sex. Go back and watch the tape. It's factually correct that he just doesn't take a lot of bumps, JD.
He took them.
I'm sorry, what am I supposed to believe when I'm staring at 2 clips as of the last month or so when he's taking flat back bumps? A lot of people don't grasp character development. You know, when Karrion Kross came in, he was the new toy for Paul Levesque.
Yeah.
They built him up as dominant, as a challenger and then champion on NXT than anyone in NXT Black and Gold history. The man was unstoppable. The man was a monster. The man was booked like a fucking beast.
Yeah.
People should be bumping for him. So automatically, due to the character that they gave him and the run that he was on and his presentation and the vibe that they wanted for him in the ring, everything was centered around others bumping for him. He was supposed to be the one dictating the pace. He was the one who was supposed to be methodically working a certain style. That's what he was told to do. He was working a big man style with the likes of Adam Cole and Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano and everybody else that was down there. Some people don't grasp pro wrestling one-on-one. Karrion Kross does not need to go in there and start flying around like fucking Ray Phoenix. He doesn't need to be going into the ring and bumping around like Penta. He works a certain methodical style, and that is what he's going to do due to his size. I don't really understand this narrative. You want another fucking, oh, I didn't really think of that, JD. That's a good point. How many times have we seen Ric Flair not take flat back bumps? The one thing, the one visual I always have when I think of Ric Flair,
Ric Flair probably took it.
Going to the top rope and doing whatever he's planning to do, and it never goes off the way he wants, and people go there and stop him and slam him off the top rope. Ric Flair, for the duration of his career post-airplane crash, has never taken that move as a flat back bump. Maybe something is bothering Kross. Do we know that? Has he spoken about it personally? Did you hear it from the horse's mouth? Probably not. So whose business is it to report something like this and have it be factually incorrect when you can't even be decent enough to go ask the man, well, why is this rumor happening? Is there an injury? Is there something that happened that we don't know? Do you care to elaborate? Did we ask him? Did we go to the source? No, we didn't. We're here speculating on the fucking fact that Wade Keller put something out there because he heard from the locker room. Ric Flair has made a career out of not taking flat back bumps off of a fucking power slam spot off the top rope or a back body drop or whatever the case may be. Yeah. One of his signature spots is him fucking dancing around after taking some punishment and doing a face first bump. Not even on his back.
Yeah, you flop like a fish.
Made a Hall of Fame legendary career. Probably in some circles the greatest of all time without taking flat back bumps. So why are we making this into a big deal? Why? When I hear Wade Keller say, wrestlers have told me, I honestly think that this is an excuse for WWE to come up with a narrative as to why they don't want to use him. And most of the time when you hear something like Wade Keller is reporting, it's not the case, and they're just out there going on a smear campaign about Karrion Kross. Because the fans are now getting involved, and fans' voices are more powerful than they were then, and it's starting to gain traction. Kross is out there on social media doing his own thing and pulling his own weight and starting everything online to get some more time on television. The documentary, the promo, this, that, relevant in the public eye while the company does not push him.
He wrestled big man style.
And the fans are egging it on. Oh, we want to see him. We want Kross. Push Kross. Where's Kross? Why isn't Kross in Money in the Bank? Why isn't Kross in King of the Ring?
You tell me.
WWE has not pushed Kross for a very specific reason, a reason that we are not privy to.
Yeah.
But when the fans start getting involved, and people on social media start getting involved, and then you see he's not being used on television, the blame is obviously going to go to WWE. And WWE and their trusted, loyal soldiers will go out there and start spreading narratives that it's his fault and not the company. That's what this is. This is a smear campaign and a narrative and a false report because the footage is there. You can see he flat back bumps. The footage is there, and you know what type of character and wrestler he is. People should be bumping for him. The company does not want to be blamed for a second time this year for not pushing talent. We'll blame Kross to deflect away from WWE being the ones at blame or at fault. Also, if Wade Keller's hearing from wrestlers and they're saying these bad things about Karrion Kross, how much of that is jealousy that Kross is relevant while being very much part-time, while others are full-time and still not getting any TV time on Monday night and Friday night? Yet Karrion Kross is more over and more wanted than some of the people backstage.
Yeah.
Karrion Kross is a part-time wrestler. That's the way he is being portrayed. Are we making up narratives about Roman Reigns that he doesn't bump when he wrestles 3 matches per year? Because I consider he said the same thing. Roman doesn't take enough bumps. Roman's afraid to bump.
Yeah, Roman
doesn't bump correctly.
Roman can't do it.
How the fuck do you know he can't bump unless he's on fucking television? Get the guy in a fucking ring. Get the guy in a program. Get the guy in a match. And then he'll bump. Who knows what the problem is? Unless you go and directly ask him what the fucking problem is, or if he has some back issues that he's concerned about. Then why are we making this into a thing?
Yeah.
And with the WWE medical team, with the fucking best doctors in the world working for the company, you would think if there was a fucking problem that he wouldn't be booked in a match on Saturday against Sami Zayn in a fucking country 19 hours away on a plane. He's ready to go. There's nothing wrong with him. If he was, or if he had something wrong with him, he wouldn't be in the fucking ring wrestling. Narratives get out there due to jealousy and as a deflection from blame to WWE. Plain and simple. Don't believe the bullshit. Don't believe the nonsense. It's nothing more than excuses and jealousy as to why Kross is not on television.
Yeah.
Aleister Black. Apparently, WWE is setting to push in a major way Aleister Black. WWE reportedly has significant plans to elevate Aleister Black on SmackDown. According to a report from PW Insider Elite paid subscription. There's been a lot of discussion within WWE Creative about raising Black's profile going forward. The source cited in the report are the same ones who previously indicated that Damian Priest was earmarked for a move to the upper card on Friday night, and prediction that came to fruition. The desired push for Black is reportedly due to the company being happy with both his in-ring work and his merchandise sales since return. The backstage sentiment is reflected in Black's recent booking. He's been interacting with several main event personalities on SmackDown and has not lost a singles match since his return to the company in May.
He never
Reports
did.
state that if all goes according to plan,
Never
fans
did.
can expect to see Black utilized even more in central storylines in the coming weeks and in the coming months. Good. Good. I was wondering what was taking so long. So I read this and I say, finally, and I read this and report this to you guys via PW Insider Elite and say, okay, looking back at it, WWE didn't want to throw him in our face and make up for lost time like that. They wanted to see what the reaction would be. They wanted to see what he would bring to the table after 5 years away, after fucking being stagnant under Tony Khan and in AEW. They wanted to see if he was going to come on in and be ready to work, have a sense of urgency, and be happy to be back instead of coming on in and just being grateful that they gave him a job. And anybody can come on in and be lazy, right? They didn't want that. They wanted to see if he was ready to take the ball, being back, happy to be back, happy to work.
Let's put this shit together.
Absolutely miscast and misused for 5 years. So they waited, and now they're seeing it. This is more than enough time. We're going into July now. More than enough time to see him on television to get that vibe of, all right, now we can take it to the next level. Excellent.
Yeah.
Seemingly looks like they're setting something up with him and R-Truth. Looks like it could be a heel turn for Aleister Black, which I think would be great. The one thing and the one recommendation I would make for Black is sometimes these creepy, brooding, dark gimmicks are not relatable. I get the vibe. I love the vibe. I love the entrance. I love the music. I think he's fantastic. But I think sometimes they do too much with the dark, brooding gimmicks and characters that it doesn't resonate with the audience. They don't know how to react. I do think that they have already miscast him, and I hope that they realize that may be a mistake. I think coming in as a babyface might have been a good idea, but I do think now, seeing what we're seeing on television and the lack of crowd reaction, I do think that it would probably be best for him to be a heel. And working against R-Truth, who's someone that is beloved by everybody, I do think that will work out better for Aleister Black. So I'm excited to see that. I think a feud with Jacob Fatu is on the horizon. I think a feud with Cody Rhodes. I would love to see that. I would love to. I've been getting spam calls. Spam calls nonstop. And does anybody else have this fucking problem?
I do have.
Spam calls fucking at least 5 times a day.
I have.
I can't stand it. Aleister Black versus Cody Rhodes. I'd like to see something like that. Maybe LA Knight if he's still on SmackDown. I think that would be great. There's a ton of people fit to work with. Damian Priest, babyface heel Aleister Black. I think that would be great. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited to see what they do with Aleister Black. Finally, going to be in line for a major push on Friday Night SmackDown. And Chad Gable. Unfortunately, we will be without Chad Gable on Monday Night Raw. The injury bug bites Chad Gable. Chad Gable was sidelined with an injury, as BodySlam.net reported this week. He was effectively written off WWE TV, as PWInsider.net reported. That Gable also learned that Grande Americano has sustained a very similar injury. We've heard that it was sustained in the same way that Gable was, but was a total coincidence. Get even more Karrion. I would need someone in the mask and have Grande Americano continue to work on WWE television. Now, I don't know how they could find somebody that has the same body as Gable, but it could be done if they really want to fucking put their heads together. I think that would be great. Keep the gimmick going and have Michael continue Chad Gable. And if all joking aside, I don't think they'll end up doing that. But all joking aside, I do think that Chad Gable missing from the mid-card on Monday Night Raw is going to be a big hole to fill. I don't know how they fill it. I wish him a speedy recovery. I hope it's not serious. I hope it's like 2-3 months. I hope it's not something like Liv Morgan where we're talking about 7-8 months out with injury. I hope that's not the case, man. He was in line for a major push. I wanted to see something with Grande Americano play out with Penta or the Luchadors. They haven't really finished that up. We're tied up loose ends with that. Something needs to be done now because that is a big loss on Monday Night Raw. Do they end up moving LA Knight now, as reports stated last week, over to Monday Night Raw quicker? Do they end up moving Carmelo Hayes over to Monday Night Raw to fill that heel gap on Monday night now left by Chad Gable? I don't know. Do they call somebody up from NXT? I do think something needs to be done here. Maybe some moves, trades of some sort between Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. But that's a terrible move, man. That's a terrible situation. Gable is I love Chad Gable. He is so great. And I hope that when he comes back, man, that WWE honestly takes him seriously and puts some fucking gold around his waist. Whether it's the IC title, the United States Championship, something. Something needs to be done to get that guy some gold, man, because he has more than earned his spot in WWE. It would be very difficult for you to go out there and find anybody that has worked at the caliber of Chad Gable since I don't want to say his career, over the span of his career, but since he signed an extension with WWE, he has just fucking killed it. That Vikingo match at Worlds Collide should be it. I don't know what else they really need from the guy. Hopefully he gets some championship gold when he comes back in, but that's going to be a big spot to fill, and that is terrible news for WWE. Thank you guys very much for all your support. If you enjoyed today's upload, please hit that thumbs up down below. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the Karrion Kross situation. Are you pro Kross? Do you want to see Kross on television? Or are you somebody that just doesn't give a shit and doesn't see what everybody else sees in Karrion Kross? That's your homework. Leave me a comment down below. Hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes right here on today's Off the Script. Go and check out all the great content on the channel. A couple of extras this week. We were live on Monday for Raw. Post-show, Solid Monster Night celebrated 100 episodes of Tuesday Night Titans on Tuesday, and last night Jesse and I were live covering what was a very boring AEW Dynamite. The next time you see me, we'll be live tomorrow for SmackDown. No time yet. Gonna try and watch early, but if anything, I will give you guys an update on social media, and we will go live after Friday Night SmackDown live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo, and please hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for all notifications. Have a great Thursday night, guys, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow live after Friday Night SmackDown on Off the Script.
I'll take care of this one, man. So I guess more than one commercials. Let's see what's up. Let me get this thing in here, man.
Photobox. Be open to anything. Be open to on-the-go things.
Money in the Bank takes place from Los Angeles tonight. I will be live covering the show, FYI. You know what else is Money in the Bank? This podcast, every single week, every single night, we deliver the money. I got the news today, man. We got news on Karrion Kross. Apparently, WWE might not renew
Let me pick up what's left
Karrion
off.
Kross to a new WWE
Since I can't pick up what's left off on Streamlabs. So I gotta get rid of Streamlabs.
The negativity that's heading towards WWE's direction. Mariah May is in. And she trolled the entire IWC. She trolled all the dirt sheets as she arrived at the Performance Center on Tuesday night. I got the latest on how all of this became Mariah May's NXT debut. I got news on Wardlow, yes! Where's Wardlow? I got the news on that. Where is Camille? I got the news on Camille. We're not expecting either one of these individuals on TV, by the way. I'm just letting you know. And also, WrestleMania news. It's probably heading back to Las Vegas. But London wants WrestleMania. All this today, right here on Off the Script. It is your Saturday, June 7th, 2025. We'll start with WrestleMania. We'll start small. London Mayor Sadiq Khan says to Triple H, we want WrestleMania to come to London. I want WrestleMania to come to London.
I'm coming to London.
London Mayor Sadiq Khan has once again publicly campaigned for WWE WrestleMania to be held in the United Kingdom, more than likely at Wembley Stadium. During a recent CNBC interview, Sadiq Khan made a direct appeal to WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H, Paul Levesque. This follows previous talks with Sadiq Khan being held with Levesque in July 2024. I'd love for WrestleMania to come to London, Khan stated. Triple H, if you're watching, we want WrestleMania to come to London. Now, speculation about London hosting has grown since John Cena pushed the narrative that WWE wants to bring WrestleMania to the United Kingdom. If WrestleMania came to London, we wouldn't just have a great weekend, we'd have a festival of legends, current stars, but also future stars as well. He added it would be open, or it would open a completely new market for the United Kingdom. Describing London as a sporting capital of the world, Khan believes if WrestleMania wants to expand the obvious places to come to London. John Cena mentioned that Money in the Bank, and I do believe there was a report with all the news of WrestleMania being moved out of New Orleans and more than likely back into Las Vegas for next year's edition of WrestleMania. I read somewhere that the United Kingdom did not want to pony up the money for WWE to bring WrestleMania to the United Kingdom, and that they were far off on deciding on a site fee, and that the site fee was way too much for WWE, or London rather, that the site fee that WWE was charging was way too much. Now, I don't know what the site fee is going to be moving forward. WWE last year got $5 million for the site fee at Allegiant Stadium before they even put a ticket on sale. Plus, they got $4.2 million in tax credit from Las Vegas just holding the event there. So WWE saved a boatload of money, and that's the reason why they're going back there. TKO is $3 billion in debt, so they're looking to penny pinch any way they can along the way. Moving WrestleMania out of New Orleans is only going to make things more expensive for everybody else. And I said this on TNT a couple of weeks ago. WWE is bringing SummerSlam to New Jersey. The New Jersey Sports Authority is giving WWE over $7 million in site fee for a two-night SummerSlam. So if WWE was getting $5 million for a site fee for WrestleMania, I don't know what the site fee was for Philadelphia. It might have been around that ballpark, $3-4 million maybe. WrestleMania in Vegas got $5 million. SummerSlam's getting $7 million. You don't think that next year's WrestleMania is going to be even more? They'll probably give Vegas a break, probably around $5 million. But you don't think the next version of WrestleMania that happens wherever it may be, Atlanta or Tennessee or London, you don't think it's going to be $10 million? 12 million, 15 million for a site fee? The move out of New Orleans is only going to up the price of WrestleMania for what they're asking for a site fee. So I want it to come to the United Kingdom. A, love the fans. B, would love to see Wembley Stadium lit up with WrestleMania. C, I'd love to get back there at some point, and I think that would be great. It would be unbelievable for my brand. I don't know, man. I don't know. We may be a little bit off. We got Saudi in discussion. We got New Orleans wants a WrestleMania. The rumors about Orlando and Atlanta and Tennessee and maybe Minneapolis. We got one coming to Indianapolis. Definitely. as they signed a 7-year deal with that city. I mean, it may be what? I don't know. We'll see what happens, but the London mayor clearly wants WrestleMania there. It's going to be up to them if they want to pay WWE the price of admission for WrestleMania.
You will have to pay.
Moving on. Speaking of WrestleMania, it's almost a done deal in Las Vegas after hurdles have been cleared. Brian Alvarez provided an update on the Wrestling Observer Live, stating that several obstacles to Las Vegas hosting the 2026 version of WrestleMania have recently been cleared. New Orleans was previously expected to host the city, but WWE is moving it back to Las Vegas to save money.
What, again?
Vegas has emerged as the strong frontrunner. Nothing is confirmed. WWE is anticipating backlash as well when they do announce Mania for a second year in a row in Las Vegas. Alvarez says, and I quote, "As of today, they're still not confirmed for anywhere, but this morning they..."
Don't worry about it. I ran into Masterpiece Father the other day. So,
Alvarez reports Vegas is apparently making a lot of concessions to clear the way for WrestleMania in Vegas, and he was told that as of today, it's almost a done deal. Alvarez detailed some initial issues that have complicated the Vegas bid. He says one of the issues, there were a couple of issues, was an issue with the stadium. This is not going to be in the Sphere. It's looking like it would be in this. Of course, they're not holding WrestleMania in the Sphere. That would be ridiculous. It's going to be in the stadium. Apparently, there was an unannounced concert, but the concert was close enough to the planned date of WrestleMania that there was not going to be enough time to set up, and the concert was unwilling to move.
Well, the concert.
Additionally, there was an issue with the convention center, which is where they are going to do, whatever they got to do, WWE World and everything else, meet and greets and all that stuff. While the specifics of how these hurdles were overcome were unclear, he stated. I'm not sure what hurdles were cleared, but several were this morning. So it's looking very likely and very shortly will be with the official announcement that WrestleMania is officially in Las Vegas again for next year. Alvarez noted his personal approval. Vegas, again, I'm fine with that. It's nice and warm. We'll see. Like I said, there was another additional report stating that there would be fan backlash, and WWE is very well in the know that there will be backlash.
We'll find out.
They do officially announce WrestleMania in Vegas for WrestleMania 42. It's going to be what it is, man. It's going to be what it is. WWE's bringing it, and again, everything that you saw this year is going to be even more expensive next year. Hopefully they have a better card than they did this year for next year's show. So that is the latest there. And the concert that was supposedly going around, I mean, that good old green TKO money, man, they get their way, man. Just pay their way through. So no matter what was there, no matter what the hurdles were, everybody's got a price, like the $1 billion man Ted DiBiase used to say. So that is all but a done deal there for WrestleMania. Some contract news. We'll start with Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is in his contract year for WWE. There hasn't been much progress. Fightful Select and Sean Ross Sapp reported earlier this year that Karrion Kross was in a contract year, with sources claiming that his contract was up in the summer. Now, we did interview recently, I don't remember who it was with, I think it might have been with Van Vliet or Ariel Helwani, one or the other. And he said that he was very, very upset, and still is very upset, that his contract status got leaked to the dirt sheets, and it was reported. He's still upset about that. At the start of June, Fightful inquired with sources close to the situation and close to Kross about an update. Based on what Fightful has heard, WWE has not yet approached Kross about a contract extension or a renewal, and we haven't heard if they have indicated interest in doing so. WWE's typically notified
the zombies
or has typically notified talent within a month or so when their deals are expiring and that they won't renew as of late. WWE's been happy to keep talent on television until they are notified that they'll not be renewed or approached for an extension. As best we know, there are a few months remaining on Kross's deal. We'll work to find out more. We don't know when his contract's up. It says a couple months. It could be July, it could be August. We don't really know. I don't know what TKO's motto is, or Endeavor's motto with the UFC, how they handle contracts if they really do bring it to the 11th hour and then begin negotiations. I don't really know what their process is. WWE, if they want someone, they will sit them down and get the deal done. So I don't know what's taking them so long. I don't. Do they want to keep? Do they want to retain Kross?
They will.
And they're all the negativity that we've seen this year alone with WWE, the ticket prices, how it's become more of a business and less fan-friendly, the releases, our truth, the creative being subpar. You let Kross go at the height of his popularity, which I don't even think has hit its ceiling. It's still growing. After the documentary he put out, after he has literally been doing whatever he can to try and send smoke signals to them. You got me. I'm here. Look at what I could produce. Look at what I could do on social media. Look at the interest that I'm accumulating on social media, this and that. He's getting bigger reactions. He's just got to tie it up in the ring. He's got to get a right story that fans are going to buy into. He's got to get the right opponent or opponents in the ring so fans buy into him. If WWE, they didn't even include him in a Money in the Bank qualifier, which is ridiculous, which set off a whole other set of negativity on social media. If WWE doesn't bring him back, and this is crazy, because Triple H is going to look like, he's going to look so bad in this if he does not bring Kross back. Karrion Kross was fired from WWE because he was a product of Triple H. He was fired because he was a product of the NXT Black and Gold system.
Yeah. Oh, your ad breaks for this long video, they're taking way too long. I mean, who's going to be the one to get it done? Granger or Gordon McKernan? Yeah, I know that. The dickheads better let me get through. Yeah, people YouTube are being too cocky with commercials.
Taking a lot of resources to get over. He had a beautiful woman. He had his wife with him, Scarlett.
He yanked away from him.
He had the ambiance. He had the it factor. They built
2021, he yanked away from him.
In the NXT system almost immediately. He was a world champion. He got brought up to the main roster, and that fabled night lost to Jeff Hardy in 90 seconds. What did they do outside the loss? Never mind the loss.
They had him look like this. They had him look like the Shredder.
The NXT champion. He lost in 90 seconds as the NXT champion. What a way to get that fucking started. The power struggle was just completely unbelievable between Vince and Triple H at that time. Nobody wants to acknowledge it, but it was there. They stripped him down to nothing. They didn't give him the same entrance that Triple H gave. They took Scarlett away. They gave him some fucking dominatrix mask where he came out looking like anything but Karrion Kross on NXT. It was a fucking mess. He was then released. He made his way to the main roster and they released him. Vince didn't want nothing to do with it. Karrion Kross, call me a conspiracy theorist, Karrion Kross was used to get back to Triple H. It was one of those final nails in the coffin. It really was. He was used as a scapegoat for the power struggle of Vince McMahon and Triple H. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. And that sucks for Kross. Kross was brought back. He was one of the first hires that Triple H brought back. I'm bringing you back. We gotta bring you back. The way you left, the way shit went down, I can't take it. I gotta get everything back that I had lost, that I had taken away from him. He started off hot. Well, I guess hot if you want to use that word. He didn't really start off hot, but he was integrated with Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. He was on his way to being a little bit more of a prominent character. Then he disappeared. Final Testament, AOP, Paul Ellering, they didn't do anything with them. I mean, it was just a complete waste. AOP got fired. They were never really much of anything. And now he has been just inactive. Not really inactive, but he's floating around, getting in everybody's business. He's in this with AJ. He's in this with Logan Paul. He's in this with Sami Zayn. Different things backstage. He's almost like that good devil, bad devil type of gimmick. On television, he released a documentary. He hasn't really done much of anything to make his presence known on the television show, and that is directly now because of Triple H. What is he waiting for? If Karrion Kross is not given an extension, after all that has happened to him to get fired, and all that Triple H did to bring him back, to not use him to not bring him back. That will send shockwaves through WWE because Triple H can promise you the world, and like that, all right, man, we're going in a different direction. He will lose trust not only with the roster but with the fan base, and he will take the brunt of this blow because this was his project. This was his idea to bring Kross back, and this is going to be a decision by Triple H and by his team and by management to not give him an extension. I don't want another negativity on social media when Kross is not given a contract extension. Do I think he should stay? I do. Do I think WWE should fucking own up and put this fucking guy on television? I do. Do I think if he leaves, he goes to AEW? I do. And Tony will be getting a winner. What he does with that winner, I don't know. But Kross will have all the creative freedom he wants to do what he needs to do to hopefully get over on television. This is going to be a very interesting situation to follow. And I don't want to know, like I said, the negativity that's coming because Triple H, he better level up, bro. That's all I'm telling you right now. He better level up. Mixed with the WrestleMania announcement, going to Vegas, mixed with this, the R-Truth thing. The Miz apparently is rumored to be getting not a renewal. He's probably going to be let go. And who else knows who's going to be let go? I don't know, man. Pretty dark days in WWE, man. It's supposed to be fun. The summer's supposed to be fun. It's nothing but negativity in WWE. Update on Camille, speaking of negativity. Her AEW status is up in the air. We finally got some news on Camille. Those close to Camille, say Fightful, have been very quiet about her time off, which has exceeded 6 months. However, based on what we've heard, she won't be back soon, but for a better reason. We're told that much like Wardlow, who I got news on, Camille has an upcoming TV product she's working on, and that will keep her busy through the summer. We have not heard if a similar meeting occurred that led to Wardlow not being brought back for that kind of reason. When asking in AEW about the absence, we're told that the talent were effectively left in the dark about her absence and didn't hear a specific reason. It was believed that Tony Khan didn't feel like the Mercedes partnership was working. It was clarified by a number of sources, yet because Tony Khan is so involved in everything that he made that decision. No, we heard that from Mercedes. That's what he wanted. That's what he did because he heard it from Mercedes. Mercedes was the one who didn't want to work with Camille because it would make sense for Camille to be in a story the way that she was to ultimately beat Mercedes to the TBS title, and nobody wanted that to happen, and Mercedes didn't want that to happen. So she would have been off TV way later, but it would have ended up in the same result. A loss, and then goodbye. Disappeared off television. It was clarified by a number of sources that Mercedes was willing to work with Camille, sure, and do a match, but that didn't happen. It didn't happen because of Mercedes. However, it was something that was discussed back in December. As of now, it appears she's been benched for at least 6 months, but will be out working a television project this summer. Camille still has plenty of time left on her AEW deal, and has continued to do signings, but hasn't wrestled since her absence outside of a battle royal on the indies. Well, it's off TV because of a TV project, or product, whatever. That's Fightful, a television product, Fightful said, TV project. She's off TV for a TV project that is taking place this summer. She's been out since December. So what happened in December, January, February, March, April, May? What happened in the last 6 months? Oh, well, you want me to think that Camille is off TV because of the TV project she's filming this summer? Sure thing, bro. Sure thing. If you believe that story, if you believe what AEW fed Sap and fed Fightful, you are a fucking Nimrod. You are a complete blithering idiot. Camille is off TV because of something that happened that we may never be privy to until Camille leaves AEW. Did Mercedes have a problem with Camille? Was something said between Camille and Mercedes? Did Mercedes go to Tony? Did Tony effectively take her off television and ice her completely? Where's the key to her cell in Guantanamo Bay? What's her cell number in Guantanamo Bay? We don't know. Don't even know why he's paying her. That's the more ridiculous aspect of this. You're paying somebody to do nothing, and you have no idea what to do with them and no desire to push them on TV. So why do you employ her? Camille is not off television because she's filming a TV project. She's not. She's off TV because something happened between Camille and Mercedes, something happened between Camille and Tony, and something happened where Mercedes went to Tony and effectively took her off television. If you believe she's off TV to film a project and missing for 6 months for no reason, you're a fucking idiot. Something happened and we will never know. It's not because she's filming a TV project. Give me a break. Wardlow. Wardlow's been absent off of AEW TV, and now we've learned why, says Fightful. Wardlow last appeared on AEW TV in March of 2024, where he wrestled for the world title against Samoa Joe. 1 year later, Fightful Select reported he was backstage at AEW Revolution, but wasn't planned for the show. We've been able to fill in some of the gaps for his absence and why it's been so long. We're told Wardlow suffered what is believed to be a labrum injury in the spring of 2024. At some point during his hiatus, he was also involved in a car accident. It was made clear to us that the car accident didn't cause the injury, but made it worse. Wardlow landed what is said to be a very appropriate and special television role in the earlier part of 2025. Since then, he's been cleared for a return to the ring. However, upon meeting with Tony Khan, all parties agreed that it wouldn't serve anyone well to bring him back briefly to take him off TV again for his TV role. Wardlow has significant amounts of time left on his AEW contract and will not be leaving anytime soon, according to Fightful. That makes a little bit more sense. If he was cleared at the early part of 2025, but he had a TV project, I mean, we're talking about the early part of 2025. We're in fucking June now. How long is this TV project? What is he filming? What type of role does he have? I can't imagine it's a big one. So where the fuck is he? So he's got a TV project, TV role, in earlier part of 2025. Here's a spoiler for you, folks. I guarantee you, whatever he's a part of has finished and wrapped up filming. So where the fuck is Wardlow? Oh, that's right. Just like everybody else in Guantanamo Bay, and he's one of those guys, just like Sammy Guevara and everybody else that's in that fucking first class of AEW. The company has moved so far on before anybody gets their fucking underwear in a bunch. So far gone from these day oneers is the company. They don't care to use them anymore. That's it. Wardlow has been miscast time and time and time again. Wardlow knows it. He comes back to television, nothing's going to be the same. MJF knows it. Tony Khan knows it. Whoever's involved with Wardlow knows it. They know it. The guy comes back to television. What do you think Tony's going to do with Wardlow? Nothing.
Got me some food.
Nothing. He is a very rare breed. He's been there since the very beginning, man. Through the pandemic era and through those beginning stages.
Yep.
Those people, AEW has replaced them with others.
Yeah.
New toys have now taken priority over someone like Wardlow. Tony, you want to use the Tony Fumble chant? Tony Fumble. This is the appropriate time to use that chant. Tony Fumble Wardlow.
Yeah, he already fumbled him. He fumbled Wardlow if he had. That's an old video they got.
I don't know why you're paying these people and you have no desire to use them. Camille, Wardlow, let them go.
Yeah.
Let them go. Wardlow would fucking kill it on NXT TV. Fucking kill it. AEW doesn't have a great track record of booking guys like Wardlow anyway. They dropped the ball, like I said, multiple times. And you're not seeing anything different with Will Hobbs and everybody, a big Cass. Nobody. They don't give a shit about guys like that. They want their fucking speedballs and they want their Kevin Knights and they want their fucking commanders and holograms on TV. That's all they care about.
Luchadors.
Camille, something happened there. Bullshit. I don't believe the Camille story whatsoever. The Wardlow story. Are we?
Come on, man.
The part of 2020. We're in June now, bro.
I was going to this iPhone thing.
Where is he? He's not injured. Fucking ridiculous. Mariah May, we'll end with this. Details behind Mariah May's NXT debut. May signed a multi-year contract with WWE as one would expect after she debuted on NXT. WWE's been moving talent around in anticipation of the move, with a number of NXT talent moving up to the main roster. The specifics of the debut were kept very quiet as to not leak. She played. Everybody's like, oh yeah, she'll be in around August, September-ish, October. People were like, oh, you should show up at Halloween Havoc or whatever. A little later this fall. She's got time left. She played the entire fucking system, bro. She played Tony. She played the dirt sheets. Everything was just not what was reported.
She played
All of
them.
a sudden, we're live on Tuesday Night Titans and Mariah May showing up on NXT.
Yeah.
Eyeing the NXT Women's Championship already. She played everybody like a fucking fiddle.
Yeah.
At least on WWE's behalf,
He's playing like
sources claimed
violin.
that a very tight circle knew officially that May was on board ahead of time, but the plan for a while has been for her on NXT. We're told the word was relayed in guerrilla to the talent just before the second start.
Yeah.
Most in AEW expected her to head to WWE for the last number of months. She's been making moves preparing for life after AEW over the last number of months, with mostly everyone thinking the landing point was WWE. The talent we spoke to said they expected her on NXT when she signed because of all the recent SmackDown and Raw call-ups. Obviously, they needed someone with a major presence to fill those holes. We've heard that AEW was interested in retaining her, but have yet heard what offers look like. Those we spoke to in AEW didn't seem to think that she departed on bad terms. She probably did, which is surprising because usually when someone leaves, oh, she was negative to work with. Oh, she was a cancer to the locker room. Oh, she didn't do this. Oh, she didn't do that. Oh, blah, blah, blah. We didn't hear nothing like that. Tony probably offered her some very good money, but like everybody said, the heart wants what the heart wants, and she wanted to be in WWE. Which I'll get back to that in a second. So no, I don't think she left on bad terms. No, I don't think Tony fumbled. I do think that she wanted to be in WWE, and she played the system perfectly to get what she wanted.
Good chance.
Mariah May was removed from AEW's roster page on May 31st, and her management said that was technically, she was still technically under AEW contract. We've since learned the deal came up at the start of June with a couple of others, but made the rare move on their behalf of getting ahead of the departure. We've heard noting that Abaddon is still on the AEW roster page, despite her deal being up and told she's not being brought back. No outcry or outrage for Abaddon being let go, huh? Okay. WWE NXT didn't mention her name. We've not heard if they're changing it, but there would be no issues with her using Mariah May, as that's her real name. She's able to use the Mariah May name if both sides choose to, as she has for years.
Yeah.
This is a different situation. When Ricky Starks debuted, WWE was insistent that there could be issues with the name, even though he technically used it on WWE TV. Now, as far as the name change, according to TC from WrestleVotes, WrestleVotes says that there is a potential for her to be named, though those names were not revealed. She did use the glamour on NXT TV, so that will probably still be part of her gimmick. The report simply states that WWE is reportedly planning on changing Mariah May's name. This is commonplace in WWE.
They changed his name.
To arrive as names for all the promotion for WWE service. The reason for that is that WWE trademark, whatever they name her.
See, you get the Pepper's Farmers, so I get these.
Direction. May has used her current name for years. When Ricky Starks joined the company from WWE, or from AEW rather, to join WWE, his name was switched to Ricky Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And Mariah May had signed with Paradigm, the Hollywood agency. Now she has Hollywood representation. Paradigm, a major Hollywood agency, will now guide Mariah May's career into scripted and unscripted film and TV projects, in addition to building her brand. In a release about the signing, the agency touted her potential, saying, and I quote, "She brings a rare combination of in-ring credibility, screen presence, and crossover
Once I used to go to
with
school
growing
again.
influence across fashion, digital platforms, and television. She is uniquely positioned for expansion into scripted and unscripted entertainment." May joins a Paradigm roster that also includes Stephanie Stratton, Liv Morgan, Jay Cargill, and Alexa Bliss. Mariah May's rising star status was recognized throughout the industry in 2024. She was named New York Post Female Breakout Star of the Year, selected as one of ESPN's top 5 under 30 in wrestling, and ranked number 9 in Pro Wrestling Illustrated PWI Top Women's 250. I don't know why we would change her name. This is something I would not change. She's Mariah, the glamour Mariah. I don't know what they're going to change her name to. I'm sure we'll get used to it. I'm sure it's not going to be vastly different. I think everybody's kind of gotten used to Ricky Saints already. It's not vastly different and offensive. Everything that we see changed, we usually get used to. I mean, I made a case about Finn Balor. And Prince Devitt to Finn Balor's a cool fucking name. Then we got used to Gunther. I'm like, oh, God. Everybody made a big deal about Gunther, including me. And from Walter to Gunther, it's not that big of a difference. Everybody knows him as Gunther. Nobody even remembers Walter, right? Ricky Saints. You know, I understand that Jade Cargill came in. She's still Jade Cargill. I'm understanding that Ethan Page came in. He came in as Ethan Page. Sean Spears is still Sean Spears. Mariah May should be Mariah May. I understand that. But I don't think it's going to be that far of a deviation away from what Mariah May is, and I don't think it's going to be so offensive to a point where it's not going to be something.
My sister already had to get the internet bill paid
almost
for a reason.
But I do think that Mariah May should be Mariah May. I've seen a lot of discourse from the Enjoy All Pro Wrestling fucking nerds out there. You know, she's overrated and we don't need her. We brought in Tekla. We don't need Mariah May. Let me tell you something, man. Tony wanted to retain Mariah May. Tony did not fumble Mariah May. If anything, you should blast Tony for fumbling her title run. Because her title run was one of the worst ever.
So they gotta go bring Tekla.
A long version transitional champion because they only put the title on her to get it back onto Tony Storm. And then that's where everything fell apart. Mariah May is just too intelligent of a woman. She played Tony for 2 years. She got the money. She got national TV exposure in front of a wrestling audience that made her desirable to WWE. Simple as that. She got what she wanted. She wanted to come in. This is something that Tony cannot combat. AEW is not WWE. The quicker you learn that, the more understanding you will be of a situation like this. And she's not going to be the only one. A lot of people get into this business with desires to wrestle for the WWE. Just like you're a young kid and you desire to play for the fucking Yankees. Right? You want to play with the Yankees, you want to play with the Dodgers. Unless you're some fucking small town kid who wants to play for the Kansas City fucking Royals. I'm sure there are stories out there about that. Mariah dreamt big. She loves Triple H. She wants to be in WWE, wanted to be in WWE for all of her career. This is what she worked for.
Yeah.
Don't take all the years of hard work and throw it in her face as if she did bad. These people are fucking mental and are the sheer definition of fucking stupid. This is something she wanted. She played Tony for 2 years. She got the money she wanted. National TV exposure. She made herself desirable. Now she's where she wants to be. And now she's with a Hollywood agency because she dreams big. TV roles, movie roles. She did everything right on television with the television time that Tony Khan gave her. She fucking owned it every time she's there. She is one of the sexiest women I've ever seen. She is unbelievable at what she does. Her presence jumps off the screen. She's got sex appeal and ring ability. She knows her character in and out. Bro, she owns this. She owns this, and now she's making bank, and she's where she needs to be. Oh, well, why didn't they bring her to WWE's main roster? She went from Wembley to the main roster. Oh, yeah, you mean that developmental system? Wembley to the developmental system, I mean. She went from Wembley to the developmental system, and not to the main roster. You mean that developmental system that has beaten NXT, what, 27, 28 weeks now? Out of, what? How many weeks in the year so far? All but 1 week, AEW beat NXT. It doesn't matter. She's where she needs to be.
They talk about
Wembley. They just called up Stephanie Vaquer. They called up Jordan Grace. And I'm sure there'll be more call-ups. They need to fill the holes that those two women left. Those are two, Julian. Those are 3 very big holes.
Some similar New Japan guys.
WWE does. And you're not smart enough, not smarter than me. You're not smart enough to understand the reason why decisions like this are made. She is where she needs to be. She'll be there for a year, and she'll be on the main roster, and she will be at WrestleMania doing the deal, and everybody's going to continue to be mad. Don't be mad. Don't be mad at Mariah. Be mad at Tony. Be mad at AEW. Be mad that the system
blame AEW. Blame AEW too.
Played. That's it. That's it. I would not change her name. She's going to be a massive star here. At 26 years old, I, for one, enjoy all pro wrestling. I'm also a realist when it comes to pro wrestling. I also understand what's good, what's bad, what's not, and everything in between. So, if you don't get it, if you don't understand why things are happening with Mariah May, this is the perfect explanation for you to get on board and understand why things are happening. I can't wait to see what this 26-year-old Mariah May, the fucking newest star of NXT's women's division, does. It's going to be glamorous. And I can't wait.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very much for all your support. If you enjoyed today's upload, please make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of all the top stories today. I will be live tonight for Money in the Bank. I will be live tweeting and then live immediately after the show is over. So join me then for the official Money in the Bank live stream. If you missed any of the content on the channel, there's plenty of it. Go and check it out. It's going to be a big month of June. I'm going to be here delivering the news for you right here on Off the Script. Hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys right back here for the live stream tonight after Money in the Bank. See you guys later.
All right, that's it for the all right, that's it for the first live show based on the stuff based on Karrion Kross that couldn't even take a bump. This is the reason why these retired wrestlers were taking the bumps. Like Ric Flair and Luna, for example. I mean, rest in peace to Luna. You know what I mean? It's like they wanted her to take a bump. Interview what she had done with our video was her and David Heath, who everybody remember him as the Vampire Warrior in the ECW and Gangrel in the WWE. Everybody remember him. Angel Bajan, rest in peace, who's known as Luna. Luna was like addressing everything else, including what happened with the whole ICP thing, the whole Insane Clown Posse thing. They addressed that on their interview. I don't even know why. You want to see some interviews, you might want to watch those on YouTube. So looking for that interview with Gangrel and Luna, find it on YouTube. You might want to find it before I do. So I already siphoned that interview from the downloads. So I'm gonna get on out of here, man. I'm gonna raise this stream up and catch up with y'all on another day on Thursday. By the time we go do that thing, it's been like an hour. So let's go. Let's get this handled. You know, let me finish the stream so I can watch some of the shows. Let me finish this. Let me finish this because I'm going to start watching one of these. You know, these videotapes. Watch one of these videos and I'll see y'all somehow. See you when I want to see you. Okay.